Before we get into update 3 of 50 Shades of Blue, I just want to shout out my grandma and say, happy 80th birthday, Grandma! I was a little bit worried about this update because the past month felt kind of off for me. Like, things in my home life were just kind of like, you know, not the best, so I thought that progress was not going to be good at all either. However, I started going through my tallies, and you know what? I think I did better than I thought I did, which was a nice surprise. So let me show you what I've been up to this past month. Starting with hair care products and products 1 through 6, which is a good example of why you do not hold on to products for special occasions. This is the Malibu Swimmers treatment, and I have 6 packets of this. And I was supposed to be going on a trip in October to celebrate my partner's, I'm just gonna say, milestone birthday, and I was going to use these because you're supposed to use them after you go in the pool. You can use them after you go in the ocean to get like salts and chlorines and everything out of your hair, and unfortunately that trip is no longer happening. So I purposely put these in this project, purposely like saved them for that trip, and now that trip is not happening. So this is your reminder, do not save things for special occasions, because you know what? Sometimes they don't happen, and why can't every day be a special occasion? Last in the hair care and product number 7 is the Living Proof Triple Bond Complex, and personally I'm not the biggest fan of this. I found it really sticky in my hair, and it also left like little knots in my hair. Like you would run your fingers through it and you'd always just have like a little knot. However, I can happily say I used this 8 times this past month, bringing its total uses to 20, and it is now empty. In April, when I brought it in, it was 54.4 grams. May, it was 49.2. June, it was 26.6, and at that time, I had decanted it into another container. So unfortunately, I can't tell you what I ended up using this past month to empty it, but in total, I did get 27.8 grams. Onto nail products, and this is definitely a mixed category this month. Starting with my Holo Taco Peely base coat, I did use it 1 time this past month, bringing total uses to 7. I was on a cleaning kick, and cleaning doesn't work well with Peely base coat because it comes right off. So I just didn't paint my nails whatsoever. In April, this was 59.4, in May it was 59.2, and June and July it was both 59, which means this past month apparently I used 0 grams on that one application, which is fair, and in total I have used 0.4 grams. On to the best product in this category, something we are saying sayonara to, and that is product number 9. This is my Holo Taco Flaky Taco, and this is probably my favorite out of flaky, scattered, and linear just because I like those chunky glitters. I used it 2 times this past month for a total of 6 uses in this project, and in April when I brought it in it was 57.7 grams, May it was 57.4, June it was 57.2, and to empty it in July it is now 55.5 grams, which means in the past month I used 1.7 gram of product, and in total I was able to get 2.2 grams out of it. I am gonna miss this, but you know what? I'm also happy to have an empty in my nail polish collection. This is where this category gets a little bit sad. Next is my Holo Taco Scattered Taco for product 10, and I got 0 uses on it this past month, meaning I have only used it 1 time so far this project. In April, it weighed 59 grams on the dot, and looking at my notes here, in May, June, and July, it weighed 58.8 grams. So she's been neglected 1 too many times at this point. So 0 gram usage this month, but in total I have used 0.2 grams. Things don't get any better with the next product. This is the Holo Taco Linear Taco, and this one I also used 2 times, but this one at least has a total of 2 uses this whole project. In April when I brought it in, it was 57.8 grams, May it was 57.4, June it was 57.4, and July it's 57.4, so apparently I got all my uses in April and May. This is just looking sad at this point. So monthly uses is 0, but total uses is 1.4 grams. A little bit of sunshine, I guess, is product number 12, which is the Holo Taco Sonic Unicorn Skin. This is that blue, like, iridescent sort of shade. Really pretty, but unfortunately I only used it 1 time this past month, bringing total uses to 6. At least I used it. In April, it was 64.3 grams. In May, it was 63.7 grams. In June, it was 63.3 grams. And this month, it is 63.2, meaning I was able to use 0.1 gram this past month. And in total, I have used 1.1 gram of product. And ending nails on a sad note, this is the Gelish Soak Off Gel Polish Nail Surface Cleanse. And this is just a typical nail surface cleaner to help your nail polish stick better. Or it also doubles as a gel polish remover, but I don't have gel nails, so it's just a nail surface cleanse for me. I used this a whopping 0 times this past month, bringing total uses to 6. In April, it was 52.8. In May, it was 48.5, and June and July, it was 47.1, meaning 0 grams of usage this past month, but in total, I have used 5.7 gram of product. On to fragrance, and I can happily say we're starting off on a good note at least. Product 14 was a previous goal met. I had emptied the Sud Pacific Vanille Extreme back in June, and I was able to get a total of 28 uses, or 7.0 gram of product out of it. Product 15 is also from the same range, but it is the Vanille Cocoa. This one I was able to use 9 times this past month, bringing total uses to 21, so we're definitely doing better with fragrance than I had nail polish, so that's a good thing. In April, this was 21.4, May it was 20.5, June it was 19, and this month it is 17.1, meaning this past month I was able to use 1.9 gram of product, and in total I have used 4.3 grams so far. This next one is the exciting one, and a scent that actually surprised me. I ended up really liking this, or I guess I am enjoying this still, because unfortunately it's not empty, but it's pretty dang close. And that is the Skylar Salt Air. I did decant it into a sprayer because it does come in a rollerball, and that's just not my thing. This past month I used it 17 times, bringing total uses to 21. In April it was 19.2 grams. In May it was 19.2 because it got neglected. June though it was 18 grams, and this month it is 13.2. So I definitely got quite a good use out of it. Like, there's only a little bit left. Unfortunately, this category also has some neglected products, starting with the Britney Spears Curious. I haven't touched this at all since I started this project, so monthly and total uses are 0, and its weight back in April is still the same as it is now in July, which is 174.3 grams, which means 0 grams of monthly and total usage. Sadly, the same goes for product 18, which is the Britney Spears Circus Fantasy. Again, 0 uses so far this whole entire project, and again that means 0 grams of usage or change. So when I brought it in April to now in July, it still weighs 187.2 grams. Its time will come, it's just not this month, clearly. But we started this category on a good note, and we are going to end it on a good note. Product 19 is Britney Spears Midnight Fantasy, and I was able to get 8 more uses out of this, bringing total uses to 15. In April, it weighed 151.6 grams, May it was 150, June was 149.2, and July now, empty, it weighs 145.6, which means I was able to empty this month with 3.6 more grams of usage, and in total I did get 6 grams out of it. Starting skincare with product 20, I do have the BYOP Bioessence, and we're starting this off good as well. This past month I got 30 more uses out of it, bringing total uses to 53, so pretty good, especially given that this is only 84 milliliters of product. It is tiny. In April it was 212.4 grams, May it was 203.1, June it was 183.8, and this month, empty, it weighs 141.5, which means I was able to empty it with 42.3 more grams of use this past month, and I got in total 70.9. Product 21 was a previous goal met. I had completed the iUnique Beta Glucan Daily Moisture Cream back in June with a total of 81 uses and 58.4 grams of product used up. Product 22 to 37 is a neglected product, so 0 monthly uses, 0 total uses, and still 16 sachets left, and that is my Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Powder Wash, and this I'm going to save till the bitter end. So I'm currently panning some other cleansers, and once those are gone, then I'll finally bust these out because these are my favorite, and I don't want to say goodbye just yet. This I'm going to pop up some pictures because it's kind of exciting to see the change of it. Product 38 is my AMA promotional lip balm, and this past month I was able to get 72 more uses on it, bringing total uses to 201. And look at that little baby nubbin. This thing is so close to being done. In April, it weighed 8.3, May it weighed 7.7, June it weighed 6.8, and this month it weighs 5.6, meaning I was able to use 1.2 gram more of product this past month for a total of 2.7 grams. I wonder just how much is left. On to our last category, which is makeup. I'm going to go over my build your own palette that I did with all blue shades, but I'm going to pop up a picture that has monthly and total uses for you. So going top left to right, the first shade is Snowdrift, and I did use it one time, bringing total uses to 3. Arctic Circle I used 2 times, bringing total uses to 5. Ursa I got 1 more use, so its total uses is now at 4. Tundra I used 4 more times, bringing total uses to 6, and unfortunately this one just did crack on me, so hopefully we don't lose any product. Cryosphere, which is right in the middle, I got 1 more use on, bringing total uses to 5. Clairvoyance, I got 2 more uses, so it's now sitting at a total of 4. Lunette, I got 1 more use on it, so it's now sitting at 4 as well. Tower and Azure, both I got 1 use on this past month, and both have a total use of 3. My goal each month is to use everything at least once, and I was doing so good except for last month because I had a little bit of a misunderstanding with the tally card, but this month I was able to hit that goal. 3 products left, so that means product number 48 here is the Essence Princess. No Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara in waterproof black. The waterproof is awful, just stick to the original. But this past month I did use this 13 more times, bringing total uses to 43. When I brought it in April, it weighed 31.7 grams. In May it was 31 on the dot, and in June it was 30, and somehow in July it is still 30. So apparently 0 grams of usage this past month, but in total I have used 1.7 grams of product. Product number 49 here is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue Glitter Bonding Eyeshadow Primer. Everything's always gotta be a mouthful. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of using this one. It does help things stick better, but I also find it kind of screws up my eyeshadow look, so bittersweet. I was able to use it 6 times this past month, which means it finally has uses. So total uses is 6 because this has been neglected. But when I brought it in April, it was 11.5, which it was again in May, and it was again in June because it was neglected, but now in July it weighs 11.1, meaning I used 0.4 gram of product this past month for a total usage of 0.4 gram of product. And last product, product number 50. You know what, after this video I don't think I have to talk about it anymore, which is super exciting. And that is the Sakoshi Glue-Free Lashes in N03 Natural. I don't know what I did wrong, but I could never get this product to work. Like, nothing worked. Like, I'd put them on, they'd fall off. I'd try to stab them on, they would take my eyeshadow off, and then they'd sit funny. I'd try to pinch them with my fingers, they'd come away with my fingers. Like, it didn't matter what I did, these things just never wanted to sit on my lashes. So unfortunately, after a total use of 4, I have decluttered these and moved them on to somebody else who is going to give them a try and hopefully have better luck than I did. So just a quick recap on how the project is going. I have 27 neglected products this month, which is not the best, but majority of those are those powder washes that I am saving. So, you know, that's going to add up and make it look bad. But I do have progress on 17 products, and I do have 5 empties, which is exciting since we only started this back in April. And I also have that one declutter that is now going to stick with us for the rest of this project. Those damn lashes. So last month I had 3 goals for this project. I wanted to use up the Living Proof Triple Bond Complex, which I did. I wanted to use up the Holo Taco Flaky Taco, which I did. And goal number 3, which I also succeeded at, so 100% with my goals for June, I wanted to use each of my eyeshadows at least 1 time. So for July, I think I'm also going to have 3 goals. I'm going to stick again with making sure I use each of my eyeshadows at least 1 time, because you know what? You don't do it once and it sticks with you for a while. So until I get over it, it's probably going to stay a goal. I think goal number 2 is definitely achievable, and that is going to be to use up my Skylar Salt Air. I'm gonna be sad when this is gone, but you know what? I learned something about myself. I like those like airy, oceany scents. So thank you to this perfume for teaching me that. And my third goal for July is going to be 0 neglected products in the nail polish category. So we're gonna have to use all of the colors and the surface cleaner as well, which means I might have to scale back on the cleaning just a little bit to make sure I can get some painted nails in there. But that is my update for 50 Shades of Blue. Once again, happy 80th birthday, Grandma. I'm not sure if you will see this, but you know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna make sure you see this one because it's a special one. It's your birthday. And for everyone else, thank you so much for being here today and watching my video. It really helps support me and my channel, and it encourages me to keep going. However, until the next one I see you in, I hope the day treats you well. Bye.